Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm Judge Executive David Vogel. Happy to have you here today on the 15th day of August, 2017. I'd like to ask everyone who's able to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy to have all of you here today. If you happen to bring a cell phone, we'd ask you to turn it to off or vibrate. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Leslie.
Here.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Here.
Magistrate Logsdon.
Present.
Judge Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the Fiscal Court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Discussion? I'd like to make a couple of changes here. I'd like to add the appointment here of under personnel actions, number 3, police. We want to move that just up ahead of the promotional appointments and oath of office. And I'd also like to ask for an executive session at the end of the meeting to deal with potential real estate acquisition. Motion to accept?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Now, as our custom, our county fiscal court clerk, Sheila Fair, will read the minutes from our last meeting.
August 1st, 2017. The Oldham County Fiscal Court convened at a regular meeting at 2 p.m. with Judge Executive David Vogel, County Attorney John Carter, and the following magistrates in attendance: Brent Likens, Wayne Tice, Bob Leslie, Steve Greenwell, Chris Hounds, Kevin Eldridge, and Bob Dye. Magistrate Logsdon was absent. Judge Vogel recognized Boy Scout Jonathan Gadberry, who led the Pledge of Allegiance. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the agenda. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Dye to approve the meeting minutes of July 18th. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment. Director of Planning and Development Services, Jim Urban, provided information relating to the KYTC project at intersection of Highway 53 and 146, which includes a new traffic pattern and restriping. LaGrange Fire Protection District budget presentation. LaGrange Fire Protection District Board Attorney J.D. Tice and Major Keith Smith presented information relating to its budget for fiscal year 17-18 and ad valorem tax rate and responded to questions from the court. South Oldham Fire Protection District Board Chairman Dennis Dybel and Board Treasurer Wes Chapman presented information relating to its budget for fiscal year 17-18 and ad valorem tax rate and responded to questions from the court. Oldham County Extension District Board Chairman Ken Hepperman and Attorney John Solomon presented information relating to its budget for fiscal year 17-18 and ad valorem tax rate and responded to questions from the court. Chamber and Economic Development Director David Bazanes presented information relating to its budget for fiscal year 17-18 and responded to questions from the court. Oldham LaGrange Development Authority Representative David Bazanes presented information relating to its budget for fiscal year 17-18 and responded to questions from the court. Executive session. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to go into closed session pursuant to KRS 61.810B, deliberations on future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, and KRS 61.810C, discussion of proposed litigation on behalf of a public agency. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to come out of closed session. Motion carried unanimously. County Administration, payables. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge and seconded by Magistrate Leslie to approve the payables with the exclusion of 2 claims, Stess Funeral Home for $2,000 and OC Extension for $74,559.50. Motion carried 7-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Audit engagement letter. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the audit engagement letter from Roy W. Hunter, CPA. Motion carried unanimously. Committee reports and recommendations. Human Resource Committee, job description for Emergency Management Director. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Likens to approve the job description for Emergency Management Director. Motion carried unanimously. Road Committee bid award dump truck with snowplow. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Leslie to award the dump truck with snowplow capabilities bid to Yule Truck Sales for $124,859.74 per unit and the Auger Drive System add-on at $3,000.58 per unit, with the intent to purchase 2 dump trucks. Motion carried unanimously. Parks Committee bid award for the partition walls at John Black Center. Motion made by Magistrate Likens and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to award the partition walls bid to U.S. Specialties for $36,520. Motion carried unanimously. Personnel actions. Emergency Management. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to hire Jerry Naut as Emergency Management Director at $37,393 a year, 30 hours per week, effective August 2nd, 2017. Motion carried unanimously. Police. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to accept the retirement resignation of Major Greg Collette, effective July 31st. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to accept the retirement resignation of Major Jimmy Latham, effective July 31st. Motion carried unanimously. Planning and Development. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to promote Brooke Radcliffe to Senior Planner at $39,780 a year, effective July 1st. Motion carried unanimously. Parks and Recreation. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to hire Carson Strunk as Building Monitor at $7.40 an hour, effective August 2nd. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment. Director of Planning and Development Services Jim Urban provided information relating to KYTC's traffic signal project at the intersection of Highway 53 and 146. Announcements. Fiscal Court members expressed their gratitude for Major Collette and Major Latham and wish them a happy retirement. Magistrate Dye announced construction continues on Highway 22 by Dairy Queen across from Maples Park, and drivers should be extra careful. Magistrate Likens announced Creasy Mahan Nature Preserve is hosting its annual Pet Day with Stock and Butterflies, Saturday, August 5th, 10 to 2. Admission is free, but donations are welcome. Judge Vogel commented on the success of Oldham County Day 2017 and stated the Oldham County Fair opens tonight and runs through August 5th. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried unanimously. The meeting was adjourned at 5:12 p.m.
You've heard the reading of our minutes from August 1st. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We have, I'm going to ask for one more thing to be moved up on the agenda that I see that David Pendleton is here with us and has arrived, and I want to ask that his appointment as a temporary county coroner be moved up after the oath of office is administered to our new police majors.
Are you wanting a motion to that effect?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion, we move the coroner appointment up after the police and promotional appointments.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And we're going to have a couple of different things here today. Most of you are sitting in the back. We have a lot of envelopes here in front of us today. We have several bid openings, and one of those bid openings involves our new Oldham County Detention Center, and we're going to be going through a lot of items there from different bidders, and so that's going to be an unusual exercise here for us, and I hope I get it all right, because it's going to be a lot of numbers that I have to speak out loud. So we want to take care of some of these other things first. Now, at this point, I'd like to call our County Human Resources Manager, Tina Shaw, forward for a recommendation.
Good afternoon. Before you all this afternoon are 2 promotional appointments. The first one is for Major Neil Johnson. His salary will be $70,802.08, and that would be effective tomorrow, August 16th.
Is there a motion to accept this appointment?
So moved.
Second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And the second one is also a promotional appointment for Major Tracy Witt at $70,802.08, and that is also effective on the 16th of August.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All right. Now I'd like to ask Chief Smith to come forward. Chief has recommended, and I've accepted and support his recommendation to appoint Tracy Witt and Neil Johnson as new majors in our police department. They're going to be taking the place of two officers that just retired, Major Jimmy Latham and Major Greg Collette. Like many police departments across the state, our county is experiencing some retirements based on the uncertainty in the state pension program. Both those men had quite a bit of time with us and decided it was time for them to retire. We wish them the best of luck. They've been great officers, and our community's been served well by their being members of the police department. We look forward to these two new officers, and they're not new to us, but new to their positions, taking over and managing in the place of Major Collette and Major Latham. We think they'll do an excellent job, and they're here to be promoted today because of the excellence and outstanding work they've done thus far with our police department. So I'm going to let our Chief, Greg Smith, make his comments now.
There's very little more I can say, Judge, based upon what you've already said, but I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. I could go on and on about their capabilities and about their accomplishments and how good they are, but I will tell you this, they are both good people, good, solid family people, just good-hearted people. And they have a tremendous dedication to the county, to the police department. They are replacing, in my opinion, two excellent commanders, but I think they will also be excellent commanders. So I can go on and on about their capabilities and about what they mean to the department, about this community, but just briefly, Sergeant Witt, soon to be Major Witt, been with the department 17 years. He's been a supervisor for 5 years? 6 years. He's a sergeant for 6 years. His past education, he's got a Bachelor of Science degree from Mid-Continent University in Business Administration. He also has an associate degree in criminal justice from the Jefferson County Community College. He's attended the Academy of Police Supervision at the Department of Criminal Justice Training and has done just about everything in the police department an officer could do. So he's very qualified, in my opinion, very capable to become the operations commander. Next is Sergeant Johnson, soon to be Major Johnson. Been with the department 17 years. He actually has a little bit more seniority than Tracy, a couple months. Been a sergeant for 10 years. His education, he has a Bachelor of Science degree in Police Administration from the University of Louisville. He has an associate degree with the University of Louisville. He's also attended the Academy of Police Supervision at the Department of Criminal Justice Training, where he informed me he got the highest graduating score. So we're proud of that. Again, I'm perfectly competent, that they can do the job. I think they've done everything in the police department that an officer can do, and I think they're ready and deserving to become assistant chiefs.
Well, thank you, and I'm sure these officers will grow under your leadership, which has been tremendous for the last 7 years. Now I'm going to come down and administer the oath of office to each officer individually, and then when I'm finished that, I'm going to ask his family members, maybe they could come up and stand behind him while we administer the oath of office, and then we'll allow family pictures to take place, and we'll give you your badges. Okay? So we'll start with Officer Witt. Any members of Officer Witt can come and stand next to Chief Smith. All right, how about if I have you stand here, and we'll let Sheila manipulate our camera there. You stand there, and I'll stand right over here. How would that be?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and have your family members stand here. All right, please raise your right Please repeat after me. I, Tracy Witt,
I, Tracy Witt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of
the
America
Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I continue to be a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue to be a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and that I will faithfully execute,
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
the office of Oldham County Police Major according to law.
the office of the Oldham County Police Major according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear
And I do further solemnly swear,
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I, being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly
nor
weapons,
acted as a second for
Nor
any
act-
person
nor
thus
acted as a
offended.
second with any person thus so offended.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I got a little goofed up on that. It's not easy. All right. All right, congratulations. All right, thank you. Stand right here. Or, yeah, you step back and the Johnson family, and all come up here. We've got a lot of kids here today with their dads who are proud of Dad. There's nothing more enjoyable than being proud of Dad than maybe Dad being proud of the kids. It goes both ways. So, all right. We'll have you stand, kind of face that way there. All right. I, Neil Johnson,
I, Neil Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true
and be faithful and true
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I remain a citizen thereof,
so long as I remain a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and I will faithfully
to
execute,
the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of Oldham County Police Major
the office of Oldham County Police Major
according to law.
according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear
And I do further solemnly swear
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I, being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of the state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons
has not fought a duel with deadly weapons
within this state,
within the state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying the challenge,
nor aided or assisted any person
nor aided or assisted any other person
thus offending,
thus offending.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. All right.
Get the honors.
All right, congratulations to both of you. All right, thank you. Proud of that. Some of our uniforms have embroidered badges, and I think those wives will appreciate those a lot more than having to pin those on, or maybe they won't pin them on. They'll let the husbands pin them on from here on out. About 6 weeks ago, we received fiscal court received a letter from the county coroner, Brett Donner. He announced that he was going to retire at the end of August. This is our last fiscal court meeting in August. I've examined candidates and have chosen David Pendleton, former fire chief of Westport, former EMS worker, to be the acting Oldham County coroner until the next election, which will be next year. So David's here, and I'd like to ask him and any family members to come by, and I'll administer the oath of office to David. Okay. All right. I, David Pendleton,
I, David Pendleton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
will defend and support the Constitution of the United States
of America
of America,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of
be
Kentucky,
faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
so long as I continue to be a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue to be a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully execute,
that I will faithfully
to
execute,
the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of Oldham County Coroner
the office of Oldham County Coroner,
according to law.
according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear
And I do further solemnly swear
that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
that the adoption of the present Constitution,
I, being the citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying the challenge,
nor have I acted in a second of carrying the challenge,
nor aided or assisted any person thus offended.
nor aided or assisted thus offended.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, David.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. I'm certainly pleased and humbled to be able to work with all of the public servants in our community, both those officially elected and those appointed who have accepted positions. We have many terrific people trying to help move our community forward and make Oldham County the best it can be. And so I thank all of our volunteers and elected officials for the cooperation they extend the fiscal court. We'll move on now with the next item on our agenda, and that is public comment. Is there anybody here who would like to address the fiscal court?
Good afternoon, Judge, Magistrates, Sheila. I just completed our audit last week, so I'm turning over the balance of my 2016 excess fees. In March, I gave the court a check for $428,459.99, and the balance of that account is $1,938.41, and we always hold out a portion until our audit is complete. So the total excess fees for 2016 is $430,398.40.
All right, we thank you for squaring that up, and I'll pass it along to our county clerk, or county fiscal court clerk.
And I also just want to mention, and as a reminder, that you can obtain passports at the Oldham County Clerk's office. We can also do your photos. We can do photos for any type of professional license. The only thing that I will not take your photo for is your concealed carry. You can get that at the sheriff's office. Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to address the fiscal court?
Judge, this is real quick. Melissa was able to provide me with a copy of all the, for the people who submitted bids. We have several representatives here from some of those. Would it be appropriate if we could make a couple of copies and those for here, for the medical, they would get a copy of that, just so they could be able to look at it and make notations. Would that be appropriate?
That'd be fine.
And I have a set here, so I can just go ahead and make a few copies, and
Yeah,
then
I
prior
think-
to us getting to that,
Right.
that will help expedite
Be a
that.
few minutes yet before we get to it, so
That's
go
fine.
ahead.
I'll go
and-
get that done. I'll
right.
come right back in. Thank you.
And we-
Thank you very much.
We appreciate all vendors who have come today and offered their support and interest in Oldham County. Is there anyone else who would like to address the fiscal court?
Good afternoon.
Please give us your name and address.
Alan Williams, 1803 Oldham Place. I'm one of your newest residents, so I've only been here a month.
Okay.
But I wanted to offer some comments, please, and some congratulations. And this is one of the reasons I'm glad we moved up here, my family and I, is the officers and the coroner and the work you do here. We've been visiting for years and decided to retire here. But I'm going to bring up the issue of the O'Reilly's building. I'm not against having a great business for taxes, because I'm a taxpayer and I love it. But we're having issues with runoff. And I just want to let you know that as a newcomer, I called our magistrate, Mr. Steve. He came out and reviewed everything and said he would handle it. Also, Vic, your state or your county inspector, came out and visited and walked over the property, met with all the neighbors, and said, please give him a week. And we did. So I went down today, and he showed what he reviewed, and I guess he will be sending it to you sooner or later. But I, being a new person and know how the county works, he asked for a week, and he's done exactly what he said he would do because of the runoff. I bought my home in December. I didn't retire until June, and we moved up here in July. Well, since then, my cove where I live and my dock is filled up. My neighbor and I can't put our boats in because of the red mud that came off of that. So he has fixed that. That answered the present one. Then I asked about the future, and he showed me what all they plan to do for the future to stop it. So that was the two questions. The third was the damage since December or January when it started. And he said he would work with us, and Mr. Steve said we'd work with the developers and stuff. So I just wanted to let you know your county government, my county government, is working, and I want to thank them for it. But just wanted to give you attention to that because we still got a lot of issues on damage that has been done. And my point is, you might want to review, if possibly, if that's a problem with ordinances or permits for your zoning and permits, because these things could have been solved a long time ago, is all I'm saying. My neighbor said, Alan, we've been there. We've been to the court, and it's still running off. And I said, well, I haven't. I'm going to give them a chance. And so I just wanted to let you know it's worked. And I appreciate those two questions, and I'll work on the third one. Thank you very much.
Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina. I'm retired government from county too. So
All right, thank you.
no hurricanes, I hope.
All right,
up here.
well,
All right,
thank you. I appreciate your comments, and we are trying to work with that particular development as closely as possible to eliminate that, and so thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else who would like to speak here? All right, with that, I'm going to close the public comment, but I'm going to add just a couple of sentences myself here. One, at our meeting last week, our last meeting, the Oldham County Extension Service came forward and presented a announcement, I guess you would say, that it was declaring itself a taxing district based on the legal research that they had done. Subsequent to that, consequently because of that, our county clerk who accepted those petitions from the extension district, but asked for an opinion from county attorney and asked for opinion from myself on whether or not that tax levy should be put on the November ballot. We have to make a decision, of course, about what goes on the ballot, and all taxing authorities are on the ballot. So subsequently, a legal action has been filed to get a directive from the circuit court on whether or not this agency has the ability to function as a taxing district. The agency thinks it does. The tax is levied in many counties in Kentucky, but there is a certain amount of disagreement, or let's say uncertainty on whether or not they have the ability to act as they have. So I believe that a hearing is being scheduled for this Friday with Judge Conrad. who's been asked to make a declaratory judgment on whether or not the 1.5 cents per $100 valuation that the Extension District has asked for is a legal tax. It was reported in the ERA that is 1.5%. It's actually 1.5 cents, and Glenn did issue a correction on that. And that's very confusing. It's an easy mistake or easy thing to misunderstand, but cents and percentage are not the same thing. So it's 1.5 cents per $100 of valuation. The other thing I'd like to say here now, and while people are present, is that our county's very, very proud of Justin Thomas, a young 24-year-old golfer from Goshen, who has won the National Professional Golfers Association tournament. I think a lot of people are aware of this, saw it on TV. It's quite a wonderful thing for him, his family, and for our community, the recognition. Now, I have called the Courier-Journal and asked that they stop referring to him as a Louisville native. He's lived here in Oldham County for 22 years, but somehow or other they referred to him as Louisville native. I said, no, he lives in Oldham County. Today's paper says he's a Louisville area native. So we can't quite get up to the bar with the Courier-Journal here, but he is from Oldham County, and his status now is a lot higher than our fiscal court here, but as community residents, we certainly are proud of this young man and congratulate him on his success, and all of us can sort of bask in the glow of a local person's national achievement. So congratulations to him. Yes, sir.
You made a slight snafu in your statement. You said that the taxing rates are on the ballot. I think you meant to say tax bill.
Yes, I did.
I didn't want someone to call you up and say, "Where is this on the ballot?" And you forgot you said it. So
All right. I got Glenn for his correction. Now I get mine for mine. So, all right. All right, yes, it's on the tax bill and not on the ballot. But the bill comes out in the fall and is paid by most people in November and December. Magistrate, did somebody have a question over here?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
Magistrate
that's why I
Leslie?
raised my hand.
Okay, I didn't see your hand.
Do we have to put it on the tax bill?
That's the question that's being determined.
Okay.
If it's a tax, it has to go on the bill. If it's,
I'd prefer it not.
well, right. Well, if they have the legal authority to do what they've done, the fiscal court has not approved it, nor have we disapproved it. We were told by the Department of Local Government that we did not have a say in the matter, and that was their direction to me. So but all taxing authorities are entitled to be on the tax bill. All right, we'll move on now to the library taxing district. It has representatives here today, and I'd like to welcome them. I believe we have our new library director with us, and happy to have you. And
This is our board member, David Hutchinson.
right, we have David here and the director, Sandra Causey.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Sandra Causey. As he said, I'm the new director for the Oldham County Public Library System for just over a month. I really appreciate the opportunity to address Judge Vogel and the magistrates in fiscal court today to present our tax rates. The Oldham County Public Library Board met on Thursday, August 10th, and voted unanimously to adopt the compensating tax rate provided by the Department of Revenue. The tax assessment was certified by the Kentucky Revenue Cabinet on July 13th, 2017, and received by the library on July 14th, 2017. The compensating rate for real property for 2017 to 2018 is 4.1 cents per $100 of assessed valuation for real property, and has an anticipated revenue of $2,339,348. The real property tax for last fiscal year was also 4.1 cents. The compensating rate presented for personal property is 8.6 cents per $100 of assessed valuation for personal property, and has an anticipated revenue of $205,314. The current rate is 9.51 cents, so that'll be a slight reduction, and produced revenue last year of $197,798. The motor vehicle tax remains at 2 cents and doesn't change. Over 90% of our funding is from property taxes and is our main source of revenue. In our 48 years as a public library taxing district, it has increased by only 2.1 cents. Also, in those 48 years, we've sought a higher tax rate only 7 times and lowered the tax rate 3 times. We have considerable reserves in the bank right now, $1.9 million, and part of that is earmarked for we're working on expansion right now. We're developing strategies for future expansion and/or relocations of our libraries. Currently, the library standards for County of Oldham's population, which is over 65,000, calls for a facility size of 0.7 square feet per capita at the very lowest acceptable level. Even with our new main library, we're still only at 0.5 square feet per capita. We are also renting out the building in Goshen at around $40,000 per year. It had over 60,000 visitors last year at the South Oldham Library, and our 2 branches circulated over 78,000 materials last year alone. And each of those branches are just over 3,000 square feet. The reserve amount also includes a 6-month emergency operating and personnel budget. Our major income comes in during November when taxes come in, so we survive off of those reserves between July and November each year. For a little bit more information on what the library's been up to the last year. Once again, I came in at the end of summer reading and was just so impressed with all the programs and everything that's already in place. I came in one day and there might be some animals in a petting zoo, and the next day there might be teens jousting in the library. Everyone's just very excited about everything that goes on. We also have subscription reference databases that help everybody from businessmen, students, job seekers. Last year we had over 18,000 reference questions come through our libraries. We also had nearly 250,000 visitors, not including 30,000 children who came through for our Science to Go play exhibit. We have 35,000 registered borrowers in a county of 65,000, which is 52% of the population. In the last fiscal year, we had a total circulation of just under 500,000 items, including almost 50,000 digital checkouts of ebooks, e-audiobooks, and downloadable popular magazines. We also had 84,480 patrons attend our programs last year. The summer reading this year that I mentioned a little bit, it was called Build a Better World, and it included lots of programs, including 3 end-of-the-year summer reading pool parties. And we also have public computers that were utilized 27,197 times. And do you guys have any questions? Do you have any further comment, David?
Swing band tonight at 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
and you'll be cheating yourself if you miss that one.
Yeah, I think that's our adult summer reading finale. It's just now winding down. We've had our pool parties, and everything is kind of slowing down.
But on behalf of my fellow directors, I would like to say I think we made a very good choice. Sandra is rapidly taking charge, and she is aware of the issues, including, of course, we know that the facilities that we have in Crestwood and in Prospect are not those that we wish to carry forward with, and we're working diligently to achieve better facilities for those communities.
Okay, anybody have anything? Certainly welcome you to the community. I know it was the first time you've been in front of our group here, and when I stood in the place you're standing at, I wasn't elected one time, and it was, it could be a little bit nerve-wracking, but we welcome you. And I don't mean to put you on the spot here, okay, but I'm just looking at this tax revenue, and it's just something, you might want to look at that again, because it looks to me like you're projecting your revenue to go up by $400,000, even though you had a decrease in the tax rate. It seems like a pretty big jump with, based on your overall budget there. So you might want to look at that, to make sure that number is
Is accurate.
actually what you think it's supposed to be. You know, because the way the compensating rate works is it gives you the same amount of tax revenue
Right.
that you had the previous year, not counting the new growth in the county. But it seems like new growth shouldn't account for $400,000 on 4 cents per hundred here. That'd
Yeah.
be,
And I'm wondering, based on,
so, I mean, yeah,
It might be that somebody put down the
right, we're
proposed
kind of in a
additional
transitional
rate.
period,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
right, just go back and check that
I
out,
will.
just to
We'll
make
do that.
sure that you're not anticipating more revenue than you're really gonna get,
Okay,
you know,
I will.
so.
Thank you.
Because this is a budget,
Yeah.
it says estimate on the top.
Okay.
Doesn't say guarantee, right,
Okay.
okay. All right, well, thank you very
Thank you.
much
All
for
right, thank
coming.
you.
Okay. Now we're going to do some bid openings here. Melissa Horn, our county treasurer, is going to help us with that, and Sheila Fair has her, that's not a, what is it, an envelope opening the tool there. So first one we're going to do, these are hoppers for the recycling center.
Judge, if I could explain one thing
Sure.
to the court and to those vendors who are with us today. As you know, I make sure that anyone we do business with is in good standing with the Secretary of State and that they are not debarred or excluded from doing work with the federal government. Sometimes it is difficult for me to figure out the company's official name from the mailing label that's on their bid. So if you look at your documentation, and if I say that this, I could not find the Secretary of State standing, it's simply because the name on the mailing label I couldn't find in the database. But before we would accept a bid, I would verify that I do have their legal name and that they are in good standing.
Okay. All right, I think we're just about ready to begin here. Self-dumping hopper, first bid, Beacon Industries, $20,649.36. The second bid is LK Goodwin Company, $22,082.57. The third bid is Material Handling Solutions, $16,033. The final bid is from Municipal Equipment, $21,100. The next item we're going to deal with here has to do with Commerce Parkway. This is a survey we're going to take on Commerce Parkway to determine the existing conditions and future plans and directions that we're going to consider for that stretch of road. So we've asked some companies to prepare, is this a bid or it's a qualification survey?
This is a bid. This is not a qualification.
This is a bid.
Second one's qualification.
All right. We have BTM Engineering. $29,172. Garber Chilton Engineers and Land Surveyors, $33,760. Palmer Engineering. $22,100. QK4 Incorporated, $34,910. Summit Engineering, $40,540. All right. Those are the 5 bids on that piece of work. Now we're going to open submissions for the submission of qualifications. This has to do, we've asked for some engineering companies to be considered to design off-ramps for the bridge on I-71 that doesn't have off-ramps, the Louis Dampier Bridge. We'd like to actually have a design in hand and the cost fairly nailed down to be able to promote that concept with state and federal officials and perhaps move off-ramps ahead of the other aspects of that project, of the widening project for I-71. The first set of qualifications comes from HMB Professional Engineers, Lexington and elsewhere. Each group has been asked to submit 5 copies of their qualifications. The second group to submit qualifications was Palmer Engineering. The next item we're going to deal with here has to do with the bid opening for the new detention center. And this is going to be a little bit fun. It's got a lot of numbers involved here because I have, you're going to find out that we have a number of items we've bid, and we're taking individual bids for each one of these items. Some companies may get some things, other companies may get others. So let's see how we do this now. All right, the first set of bids here is from Bob Barker Company. And the first item we have are razors. Are 5,000 razors a unit? I mean, in other words, how am I supposed to interpret that? I guess all right, we've asked for 5,000 razors, okay, okay. All right. 5,000 razors, $299.91. 1,500 admission kits, $4,875.16. 10,000 shampoo, whatever, $630. 2,000 sanitary napkins, $90.28. 500 black-white pants, $2,945. Green pants, 441.75. Blue pants, 150, $883.50. 140 dozen sets of underwear, $1,590.40. Uniform top, 500 of them, $2,945. Blue top, $883.50. Coats, 75 coats, $1,331.25. 150 sweatshirts, $1,475. 150 orange T-shirts, $562.50. 100 green T-shirts, no bid. Toboggans, 5 dozen toboggans, $60.90. 5 dozen belts, $83.45. 500 shower shoes, $1,240. 500 washcloths, $189.59. Bath towels, $750. Mattress covers, 500 mattress covers, $7,500. 500 blankets, $34.99.96. 350 mattresses, $22,795.50. 300 laundry bags, $412.25. And 50 opaque property bags, $2,992.50. Janitorial carts, no bid. Clear mop buckets, $1,700. Plastic mop bucket with ringers, $310. Push broom, no bid. Dustpan, no bid. Toilet brush, 30 toilet brushes, that's $40.88. No bid on the mops. 8 waste baskets, $720. 25 handcuff covers, $404.50. 50 handcuffs, $1,165. 100 disposable cuffs, $160. 50 restraint chains, $421.50. And 550 leg irons, $1,937.50. Wait a minute here. Yes, sir? Not done. Goof up?
No, this is the first time you've seen this, as you, I can understand this confusion. You missed one, or,
Section 3, property bags, mesh.
the property bags,
250 of
mesh, you had mesh and opaque. You gave us the opaque number. Was there no bid on the mesh?
Where was it?
It'd be halfway up from the bottom.
Section 3.
Section 3,
Well, you don't know if his pay is same.
bedding and laundry,
Yes, it's very bottom, the last one.
property bags,
Yeah, mesh.
Two categories, opaque and mesh.
one was $29.92.50, that's the opaque. Green mesh, no bid.
Thank you.
Can maybe help a little bit too.
Sure.
I know we've started the process, and obviously, most everybody can see on there, there's multiple vendors that, and some of them, what you're going to find is exactly that. My experience has been throughout, certain vendors will bid like here on maybe all items, some they did not, as judges indicated in their proposals. That's not untypical for supplies of this type. Typically, your bigger things, your medical services, your healthcare, food services, they bid the entire package. Whereas, so just maybe to expedite it a little bit, to go through, if this is strictly, obviously, Judge, I'm just asking, I know we have some vendors here that specifically bid the bigger ticket items. Would it be inappropriate to jump maybe to that, to the?
I'm too confusing, have to wait.
Too confusing?
Sorry,
Okay.
have to
so-
wait. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
But don't be confused with the fact that you're going to, some of these vendors will not bid on every particular item that was on the bid specs. That's not uncommon.
Sorry, fellas, I mean, I'm a linear thinker, can only handle one thing at a time here, or we're gonna get confused. I got through leg irons, that was the last one, wasn't it, on
The last one,
Bob Barker, okay.
Charmtex is next.
Pardon?
Charmtex is the next one on our list. I don't know if it's next
All right,
on yours.
I'm gonna go through these a little quick. Charmtex, okay. What do I have here? That's all it is. All right, did I give you that? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna try to move a little faster since I'm gonna get better with time on this, okay? We're on personal care items, razors, $309. Item 2, admission kit, no bid. 3, shampoo, $469. 4, sanitary napkin, $96.99. Section 2, inmate clothing, item 1, uniform, $2,950, I believe. There was no decimal in there, or is there? It says $2,950 here. All right, next one, green, $442.50. 3 is $885. Item 4, underwear, $1806. Item 5, uniform top, $2860. Item 6, uniform top, $858. Item 7, coats, $1267.50. Item 8, sweatshirts, $1,035. 9, t-shirts, $354. 10, t-shirts, $236. 11, toboggans, $64.50. Belts, $129.50. Shower shoes, $14.75. Item 3, bedding, washcloths. No total price here. $1.90 per dozen, I guess. Bath towels, $22.90 per dozen. Mattress covers, $76.90. Blankets, $66.90 a dozen. Mattresses, $64.90 each, apparently. 6, laundry beds, $28.90. Property beds, $11.72, property bags, that is, and the green mesh bags, $11.72. Cleaning supplies, janitorial carts, $102.90. These are all in unit costs. Next one is mop bucket, $74.90, 90 cents. A plastic mop bucket with wringer, $53.90. Push broom, $6.54. Dustpan, $2.54. Toilet brush, $1.72. Mop, $33.90. Waste basket, $36.18. Section 5, security handcuffs, total price $497.50. That's for number one, that's handcuff covers. Number two, handcuffs, $1,375. 3 disposable cuffs, $118.90. One-man restraint chain, $1,290. Leg irons, $3,245. Anything else in here? Is that it? That's it for that one. This is Tarragon Brothers. Razor, no bid. No bids on personal care items. Inmate clothing items. Number one, uniform pants, $6,100. Number two, $582.75. Number three, $1,215. Number four, underwear, $22.12. Uniform top is $54.60. Uniform top, second one there, is $1,297.50. Number seven, coats, $1,851. 8 and 9 are no bid. 10 shirts, $389. Number 11, toboggans, it's going to be $104.55. Shower shoes, $2,935. Belts, which item was that? Belts? Sorry, $104.55. Toboggans, $71.05. Did I mess that up? I'll back up. Green blended pre-shrunk T-shirts, $389. Did I get that one right? Okay. Toboggans is Toboggans is $71.05 and $104.55 for the belts. $29.35 for shower shoes. Under bedding and laundry, these are total prices. Number one, washcloths, $115.62. Number two is bath towels, $824.92. Number three is $2,103. Number six is apparently that's a unit cost, $7.01 each. And no bid for 7 and 8 under bedding and laundry. No bids on cleaning supplies. No bids on security. ICS jail supplies. Razors, $302.50. Number two item, $1,710. Shampoo, $494. Number four, sanitary napkins, $132.20. Section 2, first item, $3,775. Number 2, $510. Number 3, $1,020. Number 4, $205.34. Number 6, Number 5, first uniform top, $37.75. Second uniform top there is $1132.50. Coats, sweatshirts, T-shirts, no bid. That was for the first T-shirt. They do the green blended pre-shrunk T-shirt, $398. That's number 10. 11 toboggans is $70. Belts, $99.50. Shower shoes, $1,025. Number 3, bedding, washcloths, $87.50. Towels, $570. Mattress covers, $28.25. Blankets, $26.50. Mattresses, $20,037.50. Laundry bags, $1,014. Property bags, $592.50. And number 8 property bags is $2,800. Cleaning supplies, number 1, $4,800. No bid on 2 and 3. 4 brooms, $304.50. Toilet brush, $81. Wastebasket, $751.50. All right, I'm going to bet up. I'm going to have to back up just a little bit here. There's some things written on the bottom of the page. Number 2, clear mop bucket. That is $1,807.50. Number 3 that I said no bid was actually $261.75. Number 5, dustpan, through $37.50 or $37.50, and number 7, mop, $192. All right, the next, pardon? Yeah, I'm getting to it here.
Oh,
There's,
okay.
there's papers in between, they're not all together. Handcuff covers, $625.25. Handcuff number 2 there is $1,302.50. Number 3 item, $81.50. Number 4 item, $945. And number 5 item is $1,960. I think you could pull out those papers.
Go ahead.
Okay, now we're on to, who's this from? MTJ, American. On the first, I guess the only thing they're talking about here, period, is number 3 item, bedding, mattresses, $31,059. It's the only item in there. $31,059. For all mattresses, total bid. Sure.
Probably people out listening to this going to ask the same thing. These are everyday items that are used every day. Why are we I know we're starting a new jail, but why are we taking everyday items and bidding them out now where we don't do this every day when we order razors or emission kits or shampoo bottles? I mean, I'm just wondering why we're doing it now when we don't do this whenever you order supplies every day.
Okay, Michael, in part, you're exactly right. These particular vendors that supply these type of items, what we've done in all the years we've done that, typically when we run out of shower shoes or if we have mattresses that need to be replaced, or whatever, pick an item, it doesn't matter, blankets, doesn't matter. We've had the experience to be able to price these, and we simply would call several vendors. Hey, we're ready to order 1,000 of these units. Give me your best price. And we call the next one. I think what we ended up doing here was because it's going to be this initial purchase with such a large number that we needed to look at these items. As you've already found, some of the vendors have not bid on every item. So as I guess we go through the next process, we will determine how we're going to award certain items based off of that, with some other factors I'm sure that the committee will have a chance to do. But you're exactly right. We ran out of shoes, we ran out of razors. We've never...
Clarification.
Yes.
For people out listening also.
Yes, and I have more help.
The reason we bid it out is because the potential that the purchases will be over $20,000.
Potential.
Okay, so for example, the mattress bid that was just opened was $31,000. That would have to be bid out.
Exactly.
The next thing I have here, it says Victory Supply Company, but I don't have them on my sheet here. Is that the same as Pacific Concepts? Oh, VSI?
Yeah, they may not be totally.
All right. Okay. Personal care items, okay. Number one, total price, $550. Number two, admission kit, $1,965. Shampoo, $470. Number four items, $1,800. Clothing, number two. First item is $2,395. The next item is $359.25. Next item is $718.50. Number four, underwear, $1,587.60. Number five, uniform top, $23.20. Number six, uniform top, $696. Number seven is $1799.25. Sweatshirts, 8 is $25.48.50. Number 9, $636. Number 10, $217. Number 11, $63.70. Number 12, $199.95. Number 13, shower shoes, $1,035. Number 3, total price, number 1 is $115. Number 2 is $530. Number 3 is $44.95. Number 4, $24.65. Number 5, mattresses, $31,409. Number 6 is $897. Number 7, $487. Number 8, $23.10. No bid on sections 4 or 5 for VSI. Now we're on to Pacific Concepts. Personal care items, no bid. Inmate clothing, no bid. Number 3, bedding. Number 7, property bags, $575. Number 8, green mesh property bags, $2437.50. Cleaning supplies, no bid. Security, no bid. Oh, okay. Don't hurt yourself there.
Good advice.
Yeah. All right, here we go with Tab Textiles. No bid on personal care items. No bid on inmate clothing. On number 3, bedding, first one, washcloths, $90. Bath towels, number 2, $540. No bid on 3. 4 is $24.75. No bid on the balance of that page. Huh? On cleaning supplies here with Tab Textiles, no bid, and no bid on security. Okay, let me get my couple papers back in here. We're down to our last bidder here. All right, last bidder is Uniform MFG. No bid on personal care items. Inmate clothing, number 1, $2,700. Number 2, $33.75. Number 3 is $67.50. Number 4, $1,719.20. Number 5, $2,245. Number 6 is $570. Number 7, $1,275. Number 8 is $1,462.50. Number 9 is $438. Number 10, $292. Number 11, looks like $60. Number 12 is $70. That'd be right. And so we'll stick with 70 here, and number 13 is $2,835. Okay. And, no bid on number 3 section bedding, no bid on number 4, and no bid on number 5. All right, what do we have now here? Oh, okay, great. Proposals? All right.
Judge,
Commissary? Number, that we're dealing with here now, commissary?
Did we miss Pacific Concept?
no, we got it.
No, it's MTJ.
We got it. I've got it.
MTJ, man.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
can I ask Mr. Jailer Simpson to step up for a second? I want to ask him a question. I got Pacific Concepts.
Yes, Bob.
On these, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 9 vendors here. I didn't look at the bid package you all prepared. Are you going to be able to go through here and say, okay, can we pick so much from one person, so much from the next person, so the next person, like, to mix it up, or is it all or none for each vendor? How did you go about
Well,
that?
and typically, Bob, what happens is, and you're seeing the results of that, You have companies out there that only bid specific items.
Right.
And what we've done in all the years past, but now that we've done this and we've met that obligation, only those items that exceeded the 20,000, then we can obviously now make a decision based off of that price with their product. Because we, obviously, the next thing we're gonna do on the big ticket items, we wanna make sure we pay attention to the product now. We know what the price is, okay? My years of experience would tell me when some of those others. But go back to the other, yes, we can go through and say, okay, the best price that we received on the washcloths was X. And if that product turns out to be razor thin, maybe the next best item could be the next, if that makes sense. I'm assuming that we're gonna have a committee, and listen, I just barely talked about that before today,
Okay.
Bob, that to review all this information, and this first batch was a lot, to determine the criteria on how we are going to pick and choose. But in this particular case, my answer right now is yes. Pick this item or this item, and it could come from 5 different vendors.
Or, depending on
It
what.
all could come from
Or it
one.
could come from one.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Is this, now the next, these are submissions for the inmate commissary, all right? This first bid is from whom here? Carousel, is that right? Carousel? Is this a bid or is just a, it's a proposal, so there's no money to do it, right? Okay. Still on commissary?
Yep, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, do I have that sheet? I guess I probably do, but I've got too many sheets going here. All right, this is, the next one is CMB Managed Services. And the final commissary submission is from,
No.
it's not, okay. Should be 5, okay. All right, I'm trying, I think I did. Okay, where is this? This is commissary, okay. I don't know either, okay, thank you. Keefe, is this, this is Keefe here, Keefe Commissary Network. Okay. Kelwell Food Management. And Tiger Correctional Services. Okay. The next item, we're going to inmate food services. Yeah, okay, thank you. Guess we have 3 of these we're expecting, so. This is CMB Managed Services. Only okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading it down instead of across. All right, we do have 5. Consolidated Correctional Food Service. Kelwell Food Management. Summit Food Services. That's it? All right. There you go. You can have that. All right, medical.
Wait, there's one more.
Huh?
One more.
Got one more, you said?
Yeah, I jumped the gun.
Okay. We're getting a little punch drunk here. Tiger Food Services. Now we're on to inmate medical services. Thank you. We're looking for 2 submissions here. This would be a quality correctional health care. And Southern Health Partners.
Telephone?
Telephone. Pardon? Yes, I didn't get that sheet. No, I have one. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I want all this bubble wrap. Okay, we've got, this is a telephone here. We're looking at a few of them. This one is Telemate. Might have come out of that box, I'm not sure. This one is from, next submission is from Securus Technologies. The first one was Telemate. The third one, submission from Combined Public Communications. IC Solutions. I don't know, I mean, I know we're dealing with a box cutter over here. We're not used to box cutters at the fiscal court. Okay. Okay, this is our last item here, isn't it? This is from Inmate Communications. NCIC, isn't it?
NCIC.
Yeah. All right. All right, Mike, what?
Yes,
come-
I've got a couple things I want to ask you.
Yeah, what, all right, would you like to explain what you feel is the process for going through these, from the, you know, the numbers were clear, easy to figure out. What about the food services, medical, telephone, other things here?
Okay, if I could just ask the court judge, we do have some representatives from some of the vendors, and they have a couple questions. I think if it pleases the court to allow one of them to come down if they have a question or two.
Sure.
We can maybe, between myself and obviously Melissa and the court, answer theirs. Is that appropriate?
Okay.
Would that feel okay?
Right, before they ask, you know, I'd like you to, what is your proposal for examining these proposals?
Okay, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we protect the integrity of the process. I want to make sure everybody's on board. I know that we are, Judge. My experience in being with the Kentucky Jailers Association, I know many of the vendors, or some of them sitting here I've dealt with over the years. So I want to make sure that that is stated, a clear fact. From that standpoint, we really, Melissa and I and Stan, I'm sure the three of us, and obviously yourself, and then obviously anybody else that's on the committee, we will establish a process. You can see there's a lot to go through. The food service, the medical services, inmate phone systems, those things will be broken down. I would like to obviously be able to break down everything from each one of those, look at what they're proposing. The commissary provides a different format because a lot of times on your commissary, you want to make sure that they have the ability to migrate or integrate with our inmate booking system, because I know from years past from the state auditor and being able to justify monies in, monies out, expenditures. So there's just a lot to look at. So I would propose that a committee be formed of yourself, myself, obviously Melissa, Stan, and any of the magistrates to be able to go through this process, make sure, again, we're protecting the integrity of that process, and then ultimately we'll make a decision on whom we're going to award. I want to go back to Magistrate Dye and Master Logston's on the day-to-day supplies. We're going to approach that probably a little bit differently because we're going to see this item may be cheaper with this company. It's a good product, and we may pick and choose as we go through that. But awarding the medical, awarding the food service, the inmate phone system, and the commissary, they're extremely important to the day-to-day operations and long-term. So I would say that's how we should approach it.
All right. All right, we'll talk about it and see how I think
So if.
We ought to be able to, divide up some of these committees among people who would like to participate and
Sure.
give, others a chance to have
Absolutely.
some oversight as well. Okay.
Are you
All right,
good with
yeah,
letting
would you
anybody-
like to have some of your guests come forward?
Anybody, we've answered your questions, I'm good. Anybody else? Okay.
Who is here today? Could we ask that?
Guys, why don't y'all just stand up and identify yourself and let you do that.
We're Securus Technologies, Chris and Linda Parsons.
Okay.
And that is on the inmate phone system. Wendy?
And I'm Wendy Day with Tiger Correctional Services. I did the inmate commissary and inmate food service.
Okay.
I'm Amy Needham. I'm with Carousel. We do commissary kiosks and inmate packages.
Okay.
KLL Food Management is commissary and food services. You can hear it.
Well, thank you for coming today and sitting through,
A process.
all this process. Appreciate your interest in our community.
Thank you, Judge. Any other questions from the court?
No, does anybody
Anything
have
else?
anything they'd like to add or ask, clarify?
Steve's thinking. I know he's thinking about something.
I just wanted to say that, this is a big endeavor we've undertaken with building a new detention facility, and I realize this is one part that's been kind of cumbersome in the meeting, but it's still very important, and the day-to-day management, the savings you get there and the quality of the product may be bigger than the investment that we made at the very beginning in the long run. So I just think it's a good process, and we just need to make good decisions.
All right.
Thank you, Steve. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank
Judge.
you. Go on now to the next item on the agenda today, and that has to do with the bills that we have here.
Second.
Anybody have any questions about anything there? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 8-1. Next item would be the community business on our county tax rate. We have I'm going to ask Stan Clark to come up here. We have a resolution here. We referred to this earlier a little bit indirectly when we talked with the library district, but we're going to lower our tax rate to, with your permission, to 8.9 cents per hundred.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
explain a little bit of the process here. Is theoretically, the state by June 30th of each year does the calculation. The state finance officer gives us our rate, and they go through the calculations. We did not get those. We, not alone, but they didn't get them done until late July, about the time we were already to have what our tax rate is back to them. The last several years, it's worked out that the tax rate of 9.0 is turned out to be what it is. What's happened is due mainly to a lot of home sales turnover and stuff, as well as some PVA reassessments, the value of properties existing last year went up enough to cause our current tax rate to generate more revenue this year than the previous year, to the nearest 0.1%, as that's what they go by. And so we got notice that our compensating tax rate, which is the rate that will give us the same revenue that we received last year on the same property. It does not involve any of the new property, new homes, new businesses. It's just, level tax. Our rate is 8.9, the compensating rate. What we as a court has to do is we either accept the compensating rate, and all that takes is a resolution or an order. Anything else takes a hearing, advertising and stuff. To keep our 9.0 rate, we will have to advertise for a couple weeks, have a hearing, give the public a chance to speak. We could go as high as 9.2, a 4% increase if we wanted to. Same process, not subject to recall, just a hearing. But what's being proposed today is that we basically keep our revenues the same as the previous year on existing property, that we accept the compensating rate, no hearing required, and go forward. It does not affect, we budgeted basically assuming the same revenues last year. So this doesn't affect the budget number at all. It's just, it turns out the value of the property went up.
Do we need a resolution? I mean, a motion?
Well, right, we have a resolution here that whereas property values have increased in Oldham County, and whereas the application of the existing tax rate of 0.9 cents per hundred to the current tax year assessment of property is subject to excluding new property and personal property will produce more revenue than the previous year, and whereas the state local finance office determined that the rate would produce approximately the same amount of revenue as the previous year, known as compensating tax rate at 8.9 cents per $100 of valuation. Therefore, Oldham County Fiscal Court desires to keep its revenues even by reducing the rate to 8.9 cents per 100. So we do need a motion to accept this.
I'd like to make the motion that we accept resolution number 04081517.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you. The next item has to do with the solid waste management plan, our 5-year update. Becky Zockline has been working on that, and Becky's here.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm proud to say that with the assistance of the Advisory Committee for the Solid Waste Management 5-year plan update, and those committee members were Tracy Misson of the Cooperative Extension, David Bizanes of the Chamber of Commerce, Missy Camp, a local resident, and Magistrate Eldridge provided assistance through the first half of this year in completing this plan update. It was published for public comment from July 7th through August 7th. There were no requests for a public hearing, which was canceled, and the plan is ready for adoption.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the proposed solid waste management plan as required by KRS 224.43-340 and KRS 224.43-345.
Second.
Second. All right. Is there any discussion on it? Magistrate Leslie.
The only thing is we have to adopt this through the resolution number 02081517.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Somebody like to read that resolution?
Resolution 04-08-15-17. Nope, pardon me, that's the wrong resolution. I don't have the resolution in my pocket.
That's it.
It's going to be resolution number 01-08-15-17, a resolution adopting the Oldham County Solid Waste Management Plan 2018-2022 update. Whereas Oldham County Fiscal Court is required by KRS 224.43-340 and KRS 224.43-345 to submit an update of the area solid waste management plan, and whereas the Oldham County Solid Waste Management Area is governed by the Oldham County Fiscal Court, and whereas the Oldham County Solid Waste Management Plan 2013 to 2017 update sets the agenda for implementation of a solid waste reduction and management for the years inclusive of 2018-2022, and whereas a public comment period on the Oldham County Solid Waste Management Plan 2018 to 2022 update was conducted in the county. Now therefore be it resolved by the Fiscal Court, County of Oldham, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that the Oldham County Fiscal Court hereby adopts the Oldham County Solid Waste Management Plan 2018-2022 update and supports its action plan, implementation plan, and associated activities. And I would amend my motion to include that resolution.
All right. Who seconded the motion? Pardon? All right, acceptable to Magistrate Dye? You
Yes,
seconded?
you did a good
All right.
job, Judge.
All right. Are there any other discussion or questions? All right. All hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
And Becky, thank you. Becky and others have worked very hard on this, and thank you for the good job you've done. You worked, applied a lot of thought to this, and I appreciate the hard work and effort you put in to put it together.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
That's the next thing, too.
You have something else you want to mention?
No, I'm on the next agenda.
Oh, you're next? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. This will be the third year in a row that I'm coming before the fiscal court requesting that the judge be allowed to sign the resolution permitting us to apply for flood mitigation assistance funds from FEMA, and this would be for flood mitigation efforts in our flood-prone areas of the county. And we were approved for 2014 and for 2015. We're awaiting approval on our 2016. Okay, so this is fourth year, sorry. And our 2014 projects are just about at completion and quite successful. We are conducting elevations of structures in the flood-prone areas, and this is unique to the state, and it could also be to the nation, that most other communities acquire properties as their flood mitigation effort. Our county has been conducting elevations. So this keeps people in their homes. It keeps property values stable in the communities. It's good for the county, it's good for the residents. So I'm asking the court to, once again, visit this grant program.
Thank you, Becky. Judge, I would like to make a motion that we accept resolution number 02-08-15-17, which is a resolution for the application for and administration of the Kentucky Emergency Management Flood Mitigation Assistance Program.
Second.
I think we should point out here that when we say flood mitigation, our mind sometimes automatically shifts to the Ohio River, but there are other places in the county that are eligible for this type of support that are not anywhere near the river.
That's
but they are
correct.
flood prone.
That's correct, Judge, and I would like to thank Becky personally for the work that she's done, because it is, I don't know the number right offhand. It was 6, and now there's, how many houses have gone through this
We
program?
We had 6 properties in the 2014 application. There are 2 properties in the 2015 application. The 2016 application, I believe, has a total of 8 properties. And we're waiting to hear, we could hear about that any day now.
All right. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. Thank you. Did he leave? All right. I did not cast a vote on that.
Thank you.
Didn't see him leave, all right. The next item has to do with a resolution to employ legal services for us to join with other counties in a lawsuit to oppose the opioid epidemic with litigation. I have a resolution here before me asking you to allow me to sign for us to employ certain legal firms and to fight this opioid epidemic. And we've heard from some of the legal people who were here before. I think Teresa Gamsky's here from Oldham County Health Department. Teresa, do you have anything you'd like to say about this? All right. The board, we asked the Health Department board about this. The board has not met since we did this, but I'm sure that everybody on the Health Department board is opposed to the spread of these types of drugs. So, but anyway, we have a firm we've met with that's representing a number of counties in Kentucky, as well as possibly some in Western Virginia, Southern Ohio, trying to force drug distributors to be accountable for the product that they put into communities. As unbelievable as it sounds, in some counties, there may be a huge number of quantities prescribed that are just out of relation to the number of people that live in that community. And so we've got to get a handle on this, and I think the president has spoken against, toward trying to do something. Many responsible people are alarmed by the spread of this drug. So I'm not sure I need to read the entire resolution here, do I, Mr. Carter, or do I?
No, you don't have to, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So, did we have a motion on this? All right, is there a motion that we go ahead and join this suit?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this? Leslie.
In Kentucky, every prescriber of an opioid is required to go to a base and check to see if any of these have been written out by a prescriber. And the distributor or retail restricted person has to also go on that base before they allow this to go out. According to the attorney, he said the number of people that had an overdose, but we do not know what it was or where it came from. But this attorney is requesting that we sue Rite Aid, Kroger, and Walmart here in this county. So if you look at the numbers, it's a logarithm of 5, or in other words, it's less than 0.1% of the people in this county. So I used to work as an expert witness, and I've met some of these trial attorneys, and I don't really care for a lot of them. The only thing they're looking for is money in their pocket. And I don't know about anybody else here on fiscal court, but some of these pharmacies that we go to after a period of time, we know the pharmacist. The one I go to is Rite Aid, and whenever I get a prescription, I'm always asked if I have any questions or if there's a problem with whatever is being prescribed, maybe a problem with another prescription. So I'm adamantly against this. I really am. I don't think and I've thought about this very, very carefully, but I don't like this kind of litigation, and I don't like that kind of a trial attorney either. So I'm going to adamantly say no, and I'm going to vote no, and this is one of the biggest things I think that we've gone into since I've been on court 15 years, and so I'm saying no, no, no. That's all I've got to say.
Okay. I don't remember anybody telling us they were going to sue Rite Aid or Kroger or Walmart in this county. Did they? Did they say that?
Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly what
Huh?
he said.
Yes.
Yes.
Rite Aid,
No, they're suing the corporates that
No.
operate those stores and not suing anybody
suing the
specifically in
particular
this
stores.
county.
they're
not
suing, they're not suing the particular stores, they're suing Rite Aid as a company, Walmart as a company, and Kroger as a company. Is what the lawsuit, and then they're suing a drug manufacturer. In addition to that.
I thought it was a distribution, not the drug manufacturer, the drug distributors.
I don't have the document in front of me, but
The lawsuit is aimed at the is between the
distribution.
manufacturers and the retailers, there's a distributor. These distributors are not keeping track of they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, according to what we're told, and keeping track of the amount of these drugs being distributed. What we were told was the lawsuit is aimed at the distributors of these drugs, not the retail and not the physician, but at the distributor level. And is where the problem is that
Well, the lawsuit that they filed, that was filed in West Virginia, that they were referring to was filed against Walmart and Kroger, I believe. But I can't remember, I don't have the document in front of me, but part of it is filing against the companies because they are a distributor of the pills. I mean, we can go back and check it. I just remember that specifically, that Walmart and Kroger and Rite Aid were going to be included in the lawsuit. So, I mean,
I remember it being the distributor, like the judge was saying, not the end seller.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Thank you, Judge. Where my confusion is, and I heard the presentation, I'm not a fan of class action lawsuits either, but at the time that I heard it, I thought, this is a necessary evil. But I think where the confusion is he kept referring to trying to do this to where it would be heard locally rather than federally. Can you enlighten us on that, Mr. Carter?
that's correct. And
Locally, he
Oh, he
means
wants
in
to do it
in the
federal.
state court and not a federal court, correct?
he wants
Not
to do it federal court.
Not an Oldham County court, he means a
And
state
to
court.
do that, he has to have diversity of citizenship to file in federal court. And so you have to have, you can't just sue the drug manufacturer. I mean, I don't have the document in front of me, but and I would hate to say I'm 100% correct, but that's what I recall. I recall the same thing as you did, Magistrate, that they were going to be suing those entities. And the other thing, too, is that Oldham, the recovery of money, I mean, I need to be aware of that Oldham County's probably not going to get very little recovery of money. The last statistic that we have is that there were only one person that ODs on drugs is bad, but Oldham County only had 6 people OD on drugs, and we don't even know what drugs those were. It may not even have been opiates. But, I mean, that's the situation. There's nothing wrong with joining the lawsuit if you want to do it. I mean, my advice is not to you whether to do it or not. My advice is, yes, you can do it, and that the contract that was presented is a legal contract, if that's what you want to do.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Thank you, Judge. I just looked at this list of attorneys, and there's 8 law firms, all the way from Pensacola, Florida to Louisville, Kentucky, and I just think that when it's all said and done, we'll receive a very small amount of the money based on the amount of overdoses that we have and the fact that there's 8 law firms representing this. So I just, I don't see that that this is gonna correct our problems.
Judge?
Magistrate Eldridge, Leslie.
He specifically stated he wanted it across the street in our courthouse for this to be heard.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like we're ready to make a decision on this. I don't think we're confused about what we heard. I think we need to. I'd like to make a motion that maybe Magistrate Dye.
We were all in the same room, and all heard the same presentation, and some of us heard it a little bit differently, but I'm not a fan of class action suits either, but if you go through history, some of the class action suits have brought about, one of the examples, safer cars, safer baby seats. These things have provided positive results. And yes, there is money changes hand. Yes, some people get very rich, and I get that and understand that. And as far as the Oldham County portion of whatever this lawsuit would bring, we all understood then it was probably going to be a negligible amount. But if pressure can be brought to certain firms, be it, and I'm not going to use any particular names, if pressure can be brought to the farmer companies, their distributors, or the retailers to do the job that they're supposed to be doing by statute in this state, what harm can this do? If we save one life, is it not worth that trouble? I mean, we don't put any financial skin in the game. You know, we're just backing up saying, look, you know, for whatever reason, somebody's not doing their job properly, and we want to do the job properly. It would help law enforcement. I'm sure Chief Smith and his other chiefs and law enforcement people, if they could just cut down on just chasing one or two people. I mean, I get the negatives of this and I get the positives, but the bottom line is class action lawsuits have brought about a lot of good things. They've made a lot of people a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I get that. I don't care about the money side of it. If we can help stem the tide, however big it is, I don't see a problem with this. That's why, I made the motion. So I'd vote for it today if we had it.
Mr. Eldridge.
I think Mr. Dye is right on target. It's not about the money, it's about the result. But I also believe, in listening to the comments, that we're trying to vote on something that Mr. Carter has not had time to review. I would make a motion to table, let Mr. Carter review, and get back to us next meeting.
I'll second that.
Got to address the motion on the floor first.
For you immediately, if not sooner. I apologize. I just got this to sign to be on the docket, and I assumed everybody was on board with whatever they wanted to do. So.
All right. So we've got you willing to withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw my motion, yes.
All right, and motion that we table this until we, Mr. Carter has a chance to study it further and we learn more about it, I guess. Here's the thing, I don't know where this stands. If I'm in favor of Oldham County striking, a blow for something positive. Class action lawsuits have like Mr. Dye said, a good and bad name. Some things look like people are out on a, journey to try to get rich, but there are other people getting rich selling these drugs. Believe me, pharmaceutical companies have struck gold. There wouldn't be the President of the United States and hundreds of other leaders around the country talking about an opioid crisis if there wasn't one somehow, somewhere. And it may not have crept in here yet to the extent that it has in some places, but it's out there. And I think unless this is just the total expedition in the wrong direction, that if we don't have much of it here, it's irrelevant to me. I think we need to stand up for what the right thing to do is, and the right thing to do is to somehow get control of what this out-of-control thing is. And if it takes, pharmaceutical companies having a big hit on their balance sheet, or executives of these companies going to prison for not supervising what they're supposed to be supervising. What I heard at a meeting I attended was that people were turning their back. There was so much money flying around in this epidemic that people were not doing the enforcement and looking at what they're supposed to do. That a town with 10,000 people in it has 5 million opioid prescriptions or something ridiculous like that. That there's just no justification for, and we've got to stop this scourge of this chemical abuse that goes on. I have no idea why people stumble into this or want to try these things, but it's in my estimation really undermining our country terribly. And it's going to just get worse until somebody stands up and does something about it. So these lawyers that have an idea everybody knows to get your attention, you have to make somebody pay, it seems like. Nothing else gets their attention until they get hurt financially somehow. And so I think it seems like a big reward, but it's a big risk. The people that brought the tobacco settlement to Kentucky, we've all voted in here about restricting the use of tobacco in the community. The tobacco settlement came about. A lot of money has come out of these companies, and now some of them, and we're also being urged to consider extending that tobacco settlement or that tobacco restriction to new products, some of which are being sold by the old companies. They've moved into electronic cigarettes now, and trying to. So, my father died from lung cancer. I hate cigarettes, and but why he was in it or anybody else that gets into it, I don't know. But this opioid thing is like the new cigarette in my estimation. I mean, there's too many people doing stuff. So let's think about this a little further before we, say we don't want to do this. Magistrate Greenwell?
Judge, I'm going to vote to table this until we get more information and everything. I got a check last week for being a member of a class action lawsuit. It was $1.56 against the biggest communications carrier in the United States. So, and it's not about the money in this particular situation. I just really think it was a exercise in futility. Class action lawsuits, to my knowledge, don't do that much.
Judge, I'd like to say something. Class action lawsuits are made for the attorneys. The only people who get rich out of this attorneys. The dog's already bought or barked on the opioid. It's out there. You're not going to solve it by suing these companies now. Now they have Casper, so you just can't go out there and write prescriptions. It's like saying, well, we're not going to give, we're going to outlaw guns, and the bad people, you all obey by the rules, so you can't have any more guns. It's not going to happen. The only people who's abusing this are the bad characters out there. Suing these companies, it's not going to change the problem. It's the bad people who are doing it, the people who are breaking the laws that are causing the problem. It's not the Walgreens and the Krogers and the people who are following the writing prescriptions of the drugs and they're on Casper. I just don't think this lawsuit's going to do anything for it. So that's just my position on it.
All right. Motion on the floor to table this item for further consideration. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Aye.
Motion carries 8-1. Now we're on to some personnel actions. Ms. Schaaf?
Good afternoon again. The first item under personnel actions is a new hire for the engineer's office. We have Derek Shade. He'll be coming on as the engineer in training at $23.08 an hour, and that'll be effective September 5th.
So moved.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next item.
Did you want to handle these both together, Judge, or do you want me to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
At dispatch, we have two retirements. We have Libby Coover, that's going to be effective August 31st, and Tim Keel, August 31st as well.
So moved.
All right, moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And the last item is a resignation at the police department of Officer Justin Maldero, and that's effective the 2nd of September.
So moved.
Moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I took care of the coroner appointment earlier with David Pendleton. Is there any public comment anybody'd like to make today here before we go into executive session? Seeing no one, I'm going to close public comment and ask that the fiscal court go into executive session Under KRS 61.810 subsection B, real estate.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you.